you guys.
I'm Dustin.
I'm Molly.
And this is
Reviews for Humans.
Vampire Diaries.
Back from our hiatus.
Yes, it's been a long time.
It starts out with Bonnie having a nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
A shitty nightmare. Elena's jogging, and apparently she's always terrified and paranoid.
Yeah, it's scared of everybody. And, but she is actually right to be scared because the guy who she ends up, like, jogging away from eventually is a baddie.
She's paranoid all the time now, and Alaric's really concerned about Jeremy because he's failing his grades, and all Damon wants to do is drink.
Yeah, it's a bad. We're in a bad place in Mystic Falls.
Klaus confronts. Who does he confront in the grill?
Yeah, just
doesn't matter, but he wants Stefan. He says, "I want Stefan back." Bonnie goes to the witch house. You know, where all the witches were burned. And we find Stefan there. He followed her there.
He was there all the time.
He wants her to hide all the originals that he has in the coffins. He's taken them all. They're there in the house, and he wants her to use her magic to hide them, and she does.
Yes.
Tyler shows up with the Gilberts. Everybody's all like, Tyler.
Tyler, you're a
why are you
hybrid.
such a dick?
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't help it. It's like a faith.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He was born that way, and then his bonding to Klaus has just made it worse.
Then Klaus and Damon are at Casa de Salvatore drinking.
Hanging out. Like enemies do.
Yeah, and so Klaus gets mad, and he's like, you're not gonna give me Stefan, so he makes a mysterious phone call, and it turns out that he called Jeremy and told Jeremy to go walk out of the road and kill himself, because Jeremy had stopped taking this vervain because Tyler had convinced him.
And so, yeah, it doesn't matter.
And so,
things happen.
He's standing in the road, Alaric jumps out, saves him, Alaric gets hit by a car, and is like pretty, like super dead. Like super dead. Damon and Delena go to the creepy witch house.
And Damon can't get in because the witches don't like him.
When he goes in the house, he gets all burned up. And so she's like, then you just wait out here and I'll go talk to Stefan. And Stefan does not care about Delena nor Jeremy or anybody else. And she slaps him across the face and she says, well, then you could go to hell.
We're so over.
Yeah. And he says he's not giving up. He's not giving up the bodies to Klaus. And that's what Delena wants, because she wants, you know, her family to not be murdered by Klaus. So she's like, we have to give him the bodies. And Stefan's like, no, go away. She sighs a lot in this episode, you guys. Damon,
in her Elena way where she sighs.
Damon touches Elena's face again and says, you go talk to your brother and I'll talk to mine. So they hang out until nightfall, apparently, and they fight and they stab each other with sticks, and, you know, they're sexy together. And the truth is revealed that Stefan saved Klaus to protect Damon.
And Damon's like, you gotta stop protecting me!
Alaric's ring did not work for shit.
No, he came back to life, but he's still all broken inside. And a hybrid stops the paramedics from taking him to the hospital, and you think he's gonna die, but who comes to the rescue? Jeremy. He shoots the hybrid with a crossbow and then chops that bitch's head off.
And they take Alaric to the hospital.
Yeah.
Where he wakes up and he's okay. His ring worked, but
yeah,
you know, it feels a little funny.
It's a little weird. Everybody's like, "Ooh, what's going on?" And we meet Dr. Fell, which is important because she has a first name. So remember that for when she's murdered later.
Well, in the Fell family, she's one of the founders.
Oh, she is.
Remember the Fell? That's one of the founding names. So Damon and Stefan are still hanging out after they fight, and Stefan tells him about hiding the coffins from Klaus and shows that Bonnie did the magic. So, ooh, see, you can't see them. It's like they're not
But he makes Damon promise to keep Elena out of it.
Yeah. Klaus and Elena are hanging out.
They have a tete-a-tete.
And
look it up.
Elena gives up Rebecca.
Gives Klaus Rebecca, but she tells him that she knows that that Klaus killed their mother all those thousands of years ago, and so when Rebecca wakes up, she's gonna be super pissed and want to kill Klaus.
She's gonna hate him. Jer and Alaric are having a chit chat about how, you know, it's just becoming part of their life now to get hit by cars and die and
kill
have
people
to decapitate hybrids and this and that, you know.
Jeremy's like, I'm 16. What else would I be doing? I'm playing sports or going to school.
At the Gilbert's house, Elena's like cleaning the blood up. She's wiping the blood off her hands, and Dave and Elena have a chit chat about how, you know, shitty vampire life is.
It's terrible.
It's just terrible. She's constantly afraid for her life. Klaus is after her. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So she convinces Damon to compel Jeremy again to send him away to Colorado where he can have a normal life.
Where he'll never think about Mystic Falls again. Klaus stakes Rebecca again because it only makes sense, because Klaus has to at least stab one person in the heart before the end of an episode.
And then he has this little tear.
And it ends
with Damon is saying, I feel so guilty for the things that I want. And Elena, in her way, is like, what? I don't understand what you're talking about. And so he's like, if I'm going to feel guilty, I'm going to feel guilty for a real reason. And he kisses her, and she does not push him away.
No.
You know what time it is now?
Scene of the week!
Ah!
I'm gonna kiss you now.
Okay. Conflicted romance.
Okay, bye.
Oh, goodness. So,
that was the scene of the week.
And there you have it. So until next time, I'm Dustin.
I'm Molly.
And this has been
Reviews for Humans.
Rawr, 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 rawr.